今年我庙哎，然后那个庙一庙嘛，去买了这就然后讲了，这吧还没好，我就来一个我就讲过而已，怎么样啦？我大哥有没俺俩走了哦？玩过啊，没啦？
玩过呀。
Welcome to True Jamaica Buzz, news and entertainment with a buzz. The video that you just saw is of an incident that took place in a Christiana, in which the man that you saw on the screen, he went into a wholesale owned by Pick-a-Pow, and he decided that he wanted to clean out the people in place, meaning of the thievery type. However, he did not know that there were eyes in the skies, meaning that CCTV camera, and he was caught, and he was held. So that was the first part of the video. I want you to take a look at part 2 of that said video, in which his reaction after he was held by the owners and obviously security. Take a look.
Stop. No man, let me hear it to your mouth.
Yes.
What you say you're going to stop though?
Last time this man come to place.
You're going to stop going to the Chinese people in place and steal your stuff.
Yeah, stop.
None of the Chinese place in Christiana, you're not allowed to go in there.
Alright.
Thank you very much.
Can I go now?
No, you're going to remain as you are.
Now, people, do you see how comfortable this guy is with stealing? That even after he got caught, he was so casual, like it was just another day in a paradise. He was just doing what he do. He steals, and if he gets caught, then he tries to worm his way out. But these people are letting him know that, listen, it is not going to go like this. We are going to take you through the proper protocols, procedure. Make sure so you get locked up and see your day in courts. I doubt it very much that this man will ever see a day behind those prison walls. Based on our present judicial system, he might have to steal at least 100 times, and it have to accumulate to over a couple $100 million before the court deem him a menace to society. Don't know, only time will tell. Point blank and period. So the next thing that is popping in the news is that we see that 2 individuals decide to stow away in the wheel well of a JetBlue airline that was in Jamaica, stayed overnight. Think it came from JFK, that is in New York. Stayed in Jamaica overnight, went back to JFK, left from JFK, went to Utah, came back to JFK, and then went to Fort Lauderdale. It was then these 2 bodies were discovered. Persons are assuming that these people are Jamaican. They had no sorts of identification. But whenever you do the maths, Utah, JFK, who is going to stow away from JFK to go to Utah, vice versa, then from JFK to Fort Lauderdale? The likely possibility or probability of somebody in the US trying to stow away from one state to the next state is 0 or nil minus. As a matter of fact, the last time that I've heard that somebody tried to stow away from some island like Jamaica and go to the United States was maybe back in the 1990s. 1980 or so, it was very popular. However, the success rate was minimal also, maybe 0. 1 and 2 made it, but most of them, 99.999% of the time, they did not make it because of the condition. Now, people, if you've not been watching the weather in the United States, there is severe snowstorm, That means a blizzard-like condition. That means that it is cold and way, way, way below 0. The next thing is that for you to go in one of those wheel well, there is no sorts of pressurization. That means your head go bust, your eardrum go bust. The pressure alone is going to take you away. Those wheel well are so well compacted. That means whenever the wheel and the plane and everything that is associated with it comes in, retracts, there's hardly going to be any sorts of space for any human being to survive. The pressure alone is going to take you away. The altitude from the pressure from the altitude is going to take you away. When you leave from Jamaica and you have on some sorts of t-shirt, jeans, shorts, whatever the case is, and then you hit in a New York where it is below freezing, meaning below 32 degrees. The likely possibility, even if you can bear the pressure, even if you can bear the altitude, even if you can bear all of those severe conditions, the pressure of that wheel well pressing onto your chest, suffocating situation. You leave, you went to New York. You can't just exit out of any sorts of wheel well in any state in America. There's all sorts of surveillance cameras. Then again, these individuals more than likely might have been DEAD just from the pressure, just from the altitude, meaning 38,000 feet above sea level. So now when the plane landed at Fort Lauderdale, I think, and there was a full inspection, them going at the wheel well, them check the cracks and crevices, they realized that these two individuals were there stiff, stone cold, meaning them gone to the afterlife. Now we hear the Transport Minister, Darrell Vaz, is saying, hold on a minute, let's wait. Let's not jump to conclusion that these two individuals are Jamaican because, like I said, no sorts of identity. But common sense, rational thinking is going to tell you that more than likely these two individuals are Jamaican. Since we have a history, not so much a recent history of people doing this because they know that it is going to be an exercise in futility, meaning an epic failure. The likely possibility of surviving would be 0 or even less. He is saying, hold your horses. Don't just come to conclusion because the plane went other places. Well, the other places that it went, Utah, like I told you, New York, like I told you, Fort Lauderdale, Florida, like I told you, nobody is going to stow away. Where is a place on Master God earth that there is desperation, desperate times calls for desperate measure, where the people are under pressure, the people are broke, the people are poverty, the people are going through all sorts of stuff, and a whole lot of Jamaicans are facing it. However, a whole lot of Jamaicans are going to think rational. They are not going to make decisions such as this, in which they knew it was going to be fatal. It was going to be taken away their lives. So we see the Transport Minister wants to save face, don't want the disgrace on Jamaica, so therefore he is trying to downplay it. And I understand you have to make the investigators do their job and come to the logical conclusion that more than likely, yes, it is a Jamaican. So we have to ask ourselves, how desperate can an individual be to try something that was tried in the 80s, failed 99.99% of the time. In the 90s, same results. That would be an old-fashioned that is just not going to work. But we have to understand that in Jamaica, you have Eskimos, or you have people that are trying to sell Eskimos' eyes. People that are scamming, people that are shamming. So these people probably told somebody, say, yeah, man, I have a link, man, for go to United States, and the person probably say, wait, you have somebody working at the embassy, and them say, no, better than that, straight direct. We get you onto the tarmac at one of these international airports in Jamaica, Kingston, or Montego Bay. And then all you have to do is stow away in the wheel well. There's a section, a compartment in which you can hold on to something. Once the plane lift off and you land, you are free. well, not really free because you have to go through whatever. If you eventually make it, which more than likely you would not, and these people did not. So somebody convinced somebody to do this. Pay some sorts of money because nothing is free. Everybody wants to get away from Jamaica. Everybody wants to go to the land of opportunity, milk and honey, pick gold off of the street, in which person's thinking that that is the way America is. And here is what is the worst thing. Even if you left Jamaica, if you did not apply for some sorts of amnesty, you will not qualify. Even if you go through the Bahamas, you go on some sorts of boat, and the boat reach, and the people hold on upon you, you are not going to get amnesty because you did not pre-apply. The same thing if you go through Mexico, whatever route you take. If you do not follow the protocols, you are going to be illegal there. You are going to be sent back to Jamaica from whence you came. So my point is this: somebody actually convinced somebody to pay them money to take a risk on their life that was never going to be successful. Two individuals, not one. None of these two individuals did not say to themselves, and I am assuming that both of them left with the same aim, the same goal, the same destiny or destination. Nobody never said to themselves, yo, this makes absolutely no sorts of sense. We must be as silly can get. But people, again, like I said, you cannot speak for people unless you've walked a mile in their shoes. The threshold, the pressure that some people can take, there are people that are less tolerant. People that cannot take the pressure, and whenever the pressure gets to them, they make silly decisions. They even pay to lose their life, in which we think is the case. And I hope that this is not the start of a new old trend. Using old method in new times makes absolutely no sorts of sense. It is an epic failure. It is an exercise in futility. What this shows is what is going on at the airport, that the lapse in security, that people are willing to sell Eskimo ice, that people will sham you and scam you, and know that more than likely you are going to lose your life, but because of monetary gains, people will sell you out and sell your life, because this is exactly what transpired in this case. These people had no chance, zero chance, especially when they took the worst time when there is a snowstorm in the United States. Over 50% of those cold places are going through some sorts of blizzards. Regularly in a December, January, it is cold. When you add or compound the fact that there's a winter storm or blizzard going on in most of these states, the possibility of these people losing their life would have been high, and such is the case in this case. But what this speaks, it speaks volume to the security in a Jamaica, that persons can actually walk on the tarmac, putting them body in some sorts of compartment and hope and pray that they were going to make it to the United States in hope for a better life. But things went from bad to worse. Such is the case in this case, point blank and period. So anyways, people, thanks once again for checking out my video. If you appreciate videos like these, please show your appreciation by liking, commenting, sharing, and subscribing to my channel. That is how YouTube promotes videos like these to like-minded, sensible persons like yourself. Bless up.